You are exhausted. You know it, your body knows it, your marriage knows it, and you still can't stop. Not won't, can't. That distinction is going to matter before the end of this video. I spent 26 years building a career that looks like success from the outside. I knew what exhaustion felt like, the bone deep, soul level kind. And I kept going anyway. Not because I was disciplined, not because I was strong, because I didn't know how to exist without the doing. If that sentence hit something in you, keep watching. Because what I'm about to tell you changed everything for me. Here's what nobody tells high-achieving men about burnout. It's not about working too hard. It's about what happens when you stop. Most men in executive burnout aren't workaholics because they love work. They're workaholics because stillness is terrifying. Because when everything goes quiet, when the meetings stop, when the emails stop, the noise stops, there's a question waiting for you on the other side of that silence. Who are you without the title? And you don't have an answer, so you go back to work. High achiever burnout is an exhaustion. That's the surface symptom. What's underneath it is an identity crisis you've been outrunning for years. Your calendar isn't full because you're ambitious. It's full because you're afraid. Afraid of what you'll find if you slow down. There's a psychological pattern called the Fawn response. Most have heard of fight, flight, freeze. Fawn response is less talked about, especially in men. It's the pattern of performing, achieving, and producing as a way to manage anxiety and keep your environment safe. You learned it early, maybe as a kid. You figured out that if you were exceptional, if you won, if you delivered, if you exceeded, people were pleased. They stayed. People didn't leave. That pattern followed you into the boardroom. So now you're a senior executive pulling down a 7-figure compensation package, and you're still working like you're trying to prove something. Because you are. Not to the board, not to your shareholders, to yourself. And the brutal irony of executive burnout is this. The more successful you become, the harder it is to stop. Because stopping feels like the evidence that you were never really good enough. The whole thing was performance. So you keep going. You keep going until your body breaks, until your marriage fractures, until your kids start looking at you like a stranger. And then you keep going. If you're watching this and you're recognizing yourself, I want to pause for a second. I built a free assessment called the Leadership Alignment Audit specifically for men in this position. It takes 10 minutes. It tells you exactly where the gap is between the leader you are performing and the man you actually are. The link is in the description. It's free. It's honest. Come back to it after this video. Here's what I had to learn the hard way. Stopping is not failure. Stopping is the first act of real leadership. The version of you that can't stop, that needs the next achievement, the next deal, the next metric. That version of you isn't your strongest self. That's your most afraid self. Running a system built for survival, not significance. High performers don't burn out because they're weak. They burn out because they fuse their identity so completely with their performance that they've lost access to themselves. The work isn't learning how to achieve more. You know how to do that. The work is learning how to be without the title, without the outcome, without the next milestone to chase. That work is harder than anything you've done in your career, and it's the only thing that's going to get you out of this. Not a better morning routine, not a different job. You. It's not going to tell you that I figured this out easily. I didn't. It took losing someone I loved, losing the version of myself I'd built for 3 decades and sitting in the wreckage of all of it before I was willing to ask who I actually was underneath all of that performance. I don't want it to take that for you. If any part of this video felt like I was reading your mail, that's not a coincidence. That's recognition. And recognition is the beginning. Take the leadership audit. The link is below. No pitch, no sales call, just clarity. And you probably haven't had a lot of that lately. I'll see you in the next one.